Most people, when accused of cheating in a speedrun, do one of three things. They confess, they deny, or they do nothing. If Cody Miller had simply done one of those three things, we wouldn't be here today. Instead, a man who claimed to have multiple world records in speedrunning and was even featured in the Guinness Book of World Records agreed to perform a speedrun in front of a live audience. What was supposed to be a 2-hour speedrun on the game's hardest difficulty ended up taking 4 hours, and the difficulty was lowered not once, but twice. Fortunately, or fortunately, as you might see it, Cody and I have something in common. I also have no world records in Halo for speedrunning, or any other game for that matter. So then the question that I'm trying to answer is, can a casual like myself beat a fraud like Cody? What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to try to speedrun against Cody in his run on the first level, the Pillar of Autumn, and I'm going to see if I can beat him. As I suggested earlier, I am not a speedrunner of Halo. I know a couple of tricks, but I don't have anywhere near the skills to be able to perform what would now be considered a world record. Cody played the original game on the Xbox 360. I will also be playing the original game with this massive controller for the original Xbox. If people find this interesting, I can also speedrun the other levels in other videos, or maybe go up against other frauded speedruns in other games. I had not seen Cody's run of this level in many years, but I went to the beginning of the run and the end of the run to find out how long it took for him to complete the level, which was about 8 minutes and 28 seconds. So I figured 8 minutes was plenty of time to leisurely get through the level. However, I did not realize that this was one of the few levels where Cody did an okay job for a run in 2011. Speedrunning this level doesn't have too many tricks unless you're aiming for a world record. So getting through this level in a decent amount of time for me and Cody will mean finding a balance between moving quickly, killing enough enemies to not die, and evading enemies that don't block your path forward. The race is on. Right off the bat, Cody starts off taking the lead. I lost some time because I was trying to set up my timer on my watch, so I didn't start moving as soon as I could, but Cody does. However, Cody quickly loses the few second lead he has by pausing the game for seemingly no reason. This puts me slightly ahead, and we start performing the same tricks, jumping over a Marine's head to skip some dialogue that usually delays the game, and going backwards once reaching the bridge to talk to Captain Keyes. A player would normally walk to the end of the bridge to speak to Captain Keyes and trigger the next cutscene, but for some reason, once you arrive on the bridge, if you start leaving it, it triggers the cutscene, which is several seconds faster than going to the end of the bridge and speaking to Keyes normally. After the cutscene ends, I'm just about 2 seconds ahead of Cody. We both go fast enough to skip getting a pistol that is normally forced into your hands. It also forces you to kill a set of grunts, making the whole encounter even longer. Fortunately for us both, we both go fast enough to skip this. Unfortunately, in the first set of enemies, Cody rushes past them successfully, but I wasn't as daring as him. And so I spend some time killing some enemies, and then go past the rest of them. This puts me about 4 seconds behind Cody. To make matters worse, in the next section, where enemies burst out of the life pod bay, he successfully runs past all the enemies without taking any damage, while I decide to kill all of them. This sets me back around 20 seconds, but the reward I get for taking my time is an overshield. The overshield in this game of Halo gives you 2 extra layers of shields. They deplete when you take damage, making them only last temporarily. In the next encounter of enemies, this pays off though. Cody spends a lot of time killing all the enemies, while I elect to run past most of them, and am able to do so without losing any health. The best part is I only lose a small portion of my overshields, so I get to use them in the next encounter. Now I'm ahead of Cody by around 20 seconds, but unfortunately, Cody would come back for revenge. In the next section that once again has a life pod bay, I spent a lot of time killing enemies. Cody elects to kill everything in this section too, but he does it much more quickly than I do. At this point, I realize that the run has gone on for about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I still haven't watched Cody's run by this point, so I had no idea how far he had made it into the level, but I realized that the run was nearly half over, and there was still a long way to go. This is when I started to panic, and realized I can't spend every encounter killing each enemy. Cody kills everything, picks up the overshields, and moves on, while I'm still picking off an elite. In the next section, Cody does a grenade toss to kill off some of the enemies blocking the door to the rest of the level, but for some reason, rather than going through that door where he killed some of the enemies, he proceeds to take a detour and go through a door on the right. There's no reason for you to go down this path unless you don't know what you are doing. Since I already knew where I was going and didn't make this mistake, I now had the lead. But not for long. We're now about 4 minutes into the run, almost halfway done, and although I don't make any major mistakes in the next section, Cody skips part of the stair climbing by placing a grenade on the stairs and jumping before the explosion happens, giving him an extra boost in the air, landing on the platform above, and skipping part of the staircase. I didn't try doing this grenade jump at all, so Cody and I are now basically at the same point. Cody then pushes through the next section of enemies much faster than me, and puts himself ultimately ahead by, you guessed it, around 20 seconds. He's at the end of the tunnels, while I'm still waiting for the entrance door to open. There are some enemies at the end of the tunnel, and both Cody and I take a lot of damage taking them out. At one point, I was really worried that I was going to die, but I didn't. Once we killed all the enemies in this section, we were at the same pace again. At the end of the tunnel is an elite that can be seen from a distance, and it only makes sense to kill them before they see you. However, my shot misses them, and Cody is able to completely ignore the elite. We're nearly 7.5 minutes into the run. Any major mistakes at this point could cost either one of us the race, and Cody has the lead. I was fully aware that I only had about a minute left to finish the run. I had to move fast. I will simply show you what happens next. Come on. So close. All right, okay. Come on. Just die. Okay, how long was that? 8 minutes! I think I did it! I'm gonna have to go back and time it, but oh my god, that was close. Oh, my heart is pounding. Oh, that was an intense 8 minutes. I really wasn't sure I was gonna get that. Where did what did he mess up on? In the second to last room, rather than skipping all the enemies by going in the door to the left, Cody decides to kill everything, setting himself back a whole 20 seconds, leading me to victory. In the end, his cheating caught up with him so badly that he couldn't even beat the level against a casual player who had never even claimed to hold a world record. I hope you had fun watching this video. And again, if you want to see me try to defeat Cody's other levels in this run, or defeating another cheater's bad speedruns, please let me know. Thank you. I'm James, not Liam.